got to be more than that. You know what I really think? I really believe that she walked off and exited her career with Bravo because she realized her accusations against Doreen was ridiculous. You know, I've always been a big fan of Fancy, or her earlier days on Fresh Prince, or even when you go even further, coming to America as one of the flower girls for Prince Hakeem. But I have to say, I was a little taken back last year when Doreen had the home robbery, and she was home alone with her children. This is on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And so her house was broken into, her children were sleeping, and I believe she was held at gunpoint allegedly. They stole jewelry, they stole her valuables. She was awake through all of this, having a conversation with the burglars. And after that incident, she, traumatized, of course, throughout the season, And so Miss Garcelle had the nerve to say that she felt that it was a setup, that it was planned. And then she stood 10 toes down again at this year's reunion after, I think that by now, I think that's 2 years later, maybe. I think that happened when it happened, like in 2022 or 23? Oh, 2022. So yeah, so it's a couple years later. Yeah, they always film a little earlier. Anyway, but at this reunion, 2025, she says, I still believe that it was a setup, that it wasn't, I guess, not authentic, that, it was a plot. And I'm thinking, why on earth? Even if you thought that, I would think all the years in show business, in the industry, that's something that I would leave at the kitchen table, because it sounds ridiculous coming out. Because this is what I believe. I don't believe someone would put their children or themselves through that on camera for ratings. I just don't know what she meant by it, or did she mean that PK did it? Why would he want to do that? I think they appeared optically traumatized by the whole thing. Anyway, she noticed that no one was buying that. They don't want to get behind her on that. And, people started to see her ways, okay? And so, can't turn the light. And so, she probably had to be embarrassed. And sometimes when you're embarrassed, you make the decision of being mad instead of saying, you know what, I think I stuck my foot in my mouth behind this, and not only that, the whole looking like, a jilted girlfriend when it came to Sutton. Sutton wanting Kyle's friendship, and Garcelle was a little jealous behind that. It's so odd to see her like this in her late age. But, because of that and because of embarrassment, I still wouldn't have walked away from my paycheck. unless she has a lot of things coming down the pipeline for her career. But that was a good check. Or is it just, I mean, I don't know, not to count no one's wallet. But that was a cute, steady check. I wouldn't have walked, those are your coworkers. You have friends that you had before that show. Those are your real friends. Those are coworkers. You know, people need to take their emotions, especially us black women, take your emotions out of it. This is a job. You don't walk off because no one spoke to you. As she said, I'm really upset. No one said hi to me. It kind of was like, look, this is not a meet and greet. This has been an intense season. I'm battling a divorce. Kyle is crying off and on anyway. She was like, basically, I'm not thinking about, you know, smiling and carrying on. This is a really intense season. But, it was like she was pouting like a child. And I was, when I heard that she walked off, I was like, ooh, it must be a real reason why, Garcelle is upset. Something happened on the reunion. I kept watching it. I'm like, did somebody, what happened? There was no arguments back and forth. That's when you walk off, when someone is really like trying to come for you and you just tired of it. Like how they came for Mia on the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. Okay, now that was an exit because everybody was calling her out. And they called Garcelle out, but it wasn't like nothing for her to be, oh, I got to go. F y'all. I'm going. So I'm just really shocked at her behavior. It's just really weird and immature, but I still got love for her. But anyways, click the subscribe button, click the bell whenever you get a notification of my videos. But yeah, I am on my way to celebrating my youngest. She's 14. And we're going to go have some dinner. That's why I had to turn on the light, you guys. But I just want to thank you guys. I saw that I got a new subscriber. Thank you. Sometimes I just so overwhelmed with my caregiving. You guys, thank you so much for supporting me, wishing me well, praying for my mom. So appreciate it. She had a really good conversation with on my deal, which is I have a caregiver that assists me also. But sometimes she's non-responsive, and then she has her days when she is responsive. And yesterday, that was it. Today, when I was with her, quiet, just really tired. But like I said, it's inconsistent. But I have to celebrate the W's, and I appreciate your guys' warm wishes and hanging in there with me. All right, I'm at 70. Let's try. Let's get it. Let's get 1,000 subscribers. All right. Love you guys. Bye. Happy Friday. And I will be picking up. I forgot last Friday. Friday was a crazy day, and this Friday I didn't get a chance to do my Bible study Friday. But I'm going to pick it up. I may do a Bible study Saturday, tomorrow. And I'm in the book of Genesis, okay? So this is also for my journey. I may not get a lot of views on that. It's not for views. It's for anyone who wants to go on a journey with me to try to finish the whole entire Bible. That is my ultimate goal. I want to get reacquainted on this journey in my relationship with God. I really want to get back to reading scripture, not just when I am, watching, because I watch my church services. I'm an e-member, because the churches that I like are out of town. But I just don't want to do it on a Sunday. I want to really get into it. Now, if you were to look at my Bible, you were like, wait a minute, Cass. you got highlight everywhere and sticky notes and post-its everywhere. I do, because when I do go to in-person churches, I'm marking, I'm making notes, so my Bible looks like I'm an avid reader, but looks can be deceiving. I want to do more. I want to be better. I want to retain what I'm reading. And so I'm going to start at the beginning. And my goal is to finish the Bible with you, whoever wants to listen to it. Like I said, my Bible study Fridays, or any day that I pick at this point, because I have missed 2 Fridays already. Um, it's really for me, actually. It really is. But I want to read it to you, anyone who wants to listen. If it's just one person, okay? But okay, it's getting darker outside, and my husband's probably like, could you please turn off this light while I'm driving? It's distracting. All right, love you guys. Enjoy your Friday evening. Bye.